Hello, fellow plant people. Welcome back if you're returning, and if you're new, my name is Jen. I go by the Leafy Geek here and also on Instagram. And I'm here today. We are on the cusp of May. This is the last waning days of April, and I thought this was a good opportunity to show you some of my spring growth. A lot of my plants are starting to wake up. Those of them that kind of, none of them went dormant, but quite a few of them scaled back on their active growth this winter. So I thought maybe it would be fun to kind of wander around and show you some of those. I'll also show you the plants that ended up growing really well this winter too, because I do have a few examples of plants that just wouldn't quit. In the spirit of celebrating new green growing things and new starts, a new season, I'll show you around. First plant I want to show you right off the bat is this gorgeous Zizi plant that I have in my living room. And, you know, not the brightest corner of my house, but have a few new growth points on it. This really was working on this new growth all winter, to be honest. So I have this one that's new. This is probably the oldest new growth. Let's see if I can get a better angle here. This one is new, and then I have some little ones poking out here, and then there was one more right here. Good job, Zizi. This is just, it's a gorgeous plant, and it just keeps on going. I do nothing for it. Okay, over here on my living room plant table, Philodendron, my heartleaf philodendron, has been just putting out new growth steadily for most of the winter. I think it did slow down a little bit, but you know, this thing has been climbing this trellis pretty steadily, and over the last month or so I've noticed probably new growth from here up, which is great. All of this is new. We're almost at the top of the trellis, which is super cool. And then my Micans also has new growth, which I'm excited about. Lots of cute little leaves. My Peperomia obtusifolia also has been putting out new growth. A lot of my Peperomia have been growing pretty well this winter. It is their growing season, so quite a bit of new stuff on these. This is my newest Peperomia, my Ruby Cascade. It's flowering right now. I've had this one for a few weeks at this point, and all of these vines are starting to spill over, so that's cool. Good job, Ruby Cascade. And then, of course, my string of turtles still looks a little sad, but this is all new. All these trailing little vines that are starting to kind of creep over the edge of the shallow terracotta pot that I have it in. So hanging in there. Moving right along. You guys, some of you might know the story of my Peperomia elongata. This guy, obviously, it needs watering really badly right now. It put out like 6 new leaves and then dropped most of them. This is the one new leaf that hung on and is continuing to grow. And then my Peperomia polybatria has new growth up top. I've noticed quite a bit up here. These are new, smaller leaves right there. And then I think there were some at the base that I noted. Yep, these are new. These little pups are new. So that's cool. Love this one. And then, of course, my Peperomia Hope has not really stopped growing. So all of these little offshoots continue to grow. As you can see, the little trailing vines continue to grow. This one, I think, is the longest one. And it is very long. I want to get this one hanging. I think that would be a really cool way to display it. Anything else? Oh yeah. This little Peperomia, I actually forget both of the names, the botanical and the common names of this Peperomia. I'll put it on the screen here, but all of these little vines, it has grown pretty steadily this winter and into the spring, so I think it really is happy in this spot. This is a north-facing window, but I do have a supplemental light from this Soltech Solutions light right here, so everything that's under it's really, really happy. And my Peperomia incana also has a lot of new growth on all of its stalks here. Doing great. It's so pretty, so fuzzy. Love this one too. So up here, kind of on the interior of my house, I have another Soltech Solutions light over here. It faces a north-facing window, but it is, you know, farther away from that window, so it's a little bit darker in this part of the house. But I do have a Scindapsus Pictus exotica right here, and as you can see, we've got new leaves poking out. These are brand new. Just noticed them the other day. So that's exciting. This one's been a slow grower for me, probably because I have it where I have it. It's not getting quite as much light as it would probably like, but it's doing okay. But I'm thinking about rotating it out to a brighter spot. See here, oh, my Zizi Raven definitely has a new little growth coming out. Let's see how that one does. Hoya is working on some roots, but I think also, well, let's see if I cannot block the light. There is a new growth point on it, so that's a good sign. You go, little buddy. Hang in there, man. I've been working on rehabilitating this Hoya for, the better part of, like all winter at least. Since November, probably. I'm trying to think of when I got it. Was it early November, 2019? Yeah, it's been a saga with that one. The Hoya sigillatus, I'm trying to root. These were cuttings that I got. And they're struggling a little bit, so I did put them in an enclosed glass cloche just to see if that would help kind of speed up some growth for them in the roots department. I don't think there's anything going on with my Hoya imbricata besides the roots that it's been working on. No new growth points on that one yet. This is my other Scindapsus Pictus. This is the Argyrius. So it's kind of starting to climb the hanger that it's on, which is what I was hoping it would do. But leaves are pretty small and not a lot of silver on them. Again, it is probably a light issue. I could give it better light for sure. But yeah, some new growth on the ends. Usually I see new growth on the ends of this one. Okay, I'm in my plant room now, and I just want to show you this Philodendron Brazil loving its life right here. This vine is amazing. Like, I kind of feel like I should take cuttings of it, but I really don't want to. I just want it to go crazy. Eventually I might pin it up and let it find the ceiling or something cool like that and just let it drape everywhere. But it's doing great. My oak leaf ivy is doing really well too. It is in a darker corner right now. This room gets really good afternoon light, so I do have it kind of on the interior of the room, but I do have a grow light to help supplement, you know, the off hours in the morning to give it some extra light, and of course in the evening too. I give my plants as much light as I can with the resources that I have. This is my Cebu Blue under the lovely pink lights, and this one's been kind of average growth. It's putting out new leaves. They tend to be small. I'm not really attempting to, you know, do anything spectacular with this one. It's growing quite a bit, or it has grown quite a bit since when I picked it up. I think I got this one from Steve's Leaves last year. It's doing great. So there's a ton of new growth on my jungle cacti, and I say that generally because I see new growth on every single jungle cacti that I own. From the Rupsalis varieties that are kind of in this darker corner but still get that distant supplemental pink and purple light. There's new growth on these guys. To the ones that are a little bit closer to the actual window. God, this one, the sulcata, is just going crazy. With all of these huge new little offshoots. I'm going to have to find this one a new home, I think. Somewhere where it can spread out and do its thing. Bassifera horridas. Got more branchy branches on it. That's cool to see. And then all of my Hoyas in here are kind of in dire need of a drink. It is time to water them. So some of them might look a little sad, but let me see if I can point out the ones that have been growing pretty well. I mean, my Polynora has been growing amazingly well. I have this whole new offshoot from the main cutting stem that this is the one that I received that was like this much and grew. I had 2 cuttings of this plant and they both rooted. They both have been growing like crazy, which is great to see because it's one of my favorites. My Camphor folia's got new growth on it. That's cool to see. This one's been struggling a little bit. It struggled this winter. Camingiana's got new growth on it. That's always fun to see. My Hoya Iris Marie has new growth. Yay. Ooh, my Hoya Wayettii variegata has all these new little leaves on it. They come in super pink. Especially because I kind of have this in the brightest corner of the shelf here. That's in front of this southwest west facing window. And I do pull a curtain. I tend to use a sheer in front of this window, at least in front of the Hoya in the summertime. That's definitely what I'm planning on doing, just because, you know, the bright indirect or diffuse light is probably best for these guys. I definitely don't want them to get too sun-stressed. But then I have some plants over here that, kind of in this corner, that really benefit from direct, you know, afternoon light. So I have this guy, obviously no new growth on this one, but I'm not sure I've shown him on any of my videos. Maybe an unboxing. This is a dragon fruit. And then I have a banana. This banana outgrew its terrarium, so I had to take it out, and I'm planning on moving it outside when it gets a little bit warmer, but until then I wanted it in a room that was going to be humid or at higher humidity and brighter light, because that is what it needs. Moving up to these shelves that are kind of in a corner. They are right next to the window, and they do get that nice southern aspect light in the afternoon. So they do get some direct light in the afternoons, which is cool. But I do have supplemental grow lights here too. Oh, those Rupsalis and Epiphyllum up top there. These guys, these guys have been growing all winter. So cool. Just so unruly and ridiculous and haphazard. I love jungle cacti. I love these guys so much. Moving down a shelf. Let's see here. Hoya Bertoniae has new growth up top there. My Dischidia ovata, pretty sure. And again, you guys, all of these need a drink pretty badly. I'm set to do some plant chores tonight and tomorrow morning for these guys. So that's what's happening. But I did notice some new growth on my Dischidia ovata. And these are the two newest leaves on my Hoya obovata. These are new, and they are like quadruple the size that they were a week ago. That's awesome. Ooh, Hoya Jennifer's little vine is finally starting to get some length on it. Put out this leaf. This one's been a slow grower, but it did put out that leaf. It took a while, but it put it out. And this little vine shoot, it started, but then really kind of stopped and didn't do much for a little while. But that has doubled in size also from when I last kind of noticed it, which was probably about a week or two ago. Macrophylla's got new growth going on. That's cool to see. My Crimson Queen's got new growth going on. That's really cool to see too. All these little vines on it have new little baby leaves on them. It's awesome. I love these ones that come in super white and then margin out. Love that. I love this leaf. Oh my god. Hoya Crinkle 8 has been a champ all winter long. Got new growth all over the place on this one. Love this plant. It's probably my second biggest Hoya in my collection, size-wise. Well, I guess big implies size, never mind. Oh gosh. My new little Ripsalis that are acclimating in here in higher humidity. I'm gonna get them with the rest of my collection here in a little bit once I reorganize for the summer setup. Ooh, this Macrophylla's got a whole bunch of new vines coming out. That's cool to see too. Sorry if I'm saying cool to see so much, but it really is. It really is cool. New growth is cool. Spring is cool. We love spring. So one kind of glance around there. Good job, everybody. All right, guys, this is my bedroom. Probably, so I did change some things around a little bit in here while I'm waiting for it to get warm enough to move my succulents outside. They're in here now. They used to be in the plant room, but I decided I needed the real estate in there for other things. And plus they would get quite a bit more light in here than where they were. I have my high light lovers on this shelf. So this is right in front of that west window. So this gets hit at like 1 p.m. and it is relentlessly bright light until sunset, which hopefully this cactus will appreciate. But so I moved them in here temporarily. They will eventually go outside. At least most of them will. So on these 3 shelves here. And it's nice too because then they kind of filter that light for the plants behind them that like a little bit more diffused bright light. So I wanted to show you this guy. My Hoya Carnosa compacta variegata continues to push out that growth, so it seems to be happy here. Yay! So happy that plant is happy. Hoya Mathilde is trying something. It's definitely trying with those vines. It looks like there might be some leaf buds on them, so hoping, wishing and hoping. Down a little further, my Curtisii. This has been probably one of my champion growers this winter even for my Hoya. All of these vines have like they're either new or they've doubled in size at least. So that's cool. Little growthies. Yeah, I would love to hang this one up too somehow. And just really feature it because I love this Hoya so much. So pretty. Okay, my Rotundiflora has some new little growth points on it, which is good. This one I've struggled with a little bit, trying to make it happy. Seem to be succeeding now. It took some rehab for both of these little vines, ended up out of soil and in water at some point. So that's good to see that their roots are kind of restored and they are still trying to grow. And then my Fitchii think. Yep, there's a new growth point. And then on this little one, there's a new growth point. This was the newest leaf. Moving down, I'll show you this one. So this is my rattlesnake calathea, my Calathea lancifolia, Calathea lancifolia. I don't know how to say it. But anyway, the rattlesnake, this plant, I almost let go because all of the leaves crisped up really badly this winter and it died back. Stuck it here. I had it in a different place in my home. Stuck it here so it gets that filtered bright light that it seems to enjoy. And it's humid right here. I have that little humidifier going pretty frequently. So being right next to the humidifier, being in this bright spot, most of this plant is new at this point. I think there are like this one, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 leaves that were of the original plant before it started to kind of die back. And then the rest of this is all new spring growth. This has come out in the last couple of weeks. Like, mind blown. That's so cool. Any fun Hoya stuff going on over here? This is the interior of my bedroom. North-facing window right there. That's the closest window. So I have that light doing marvelous things over here. And holy cow, look at it. I don't know if you can see all these little red growths on my Hoya retusa, but those are all little bloom buds. So this guy is getting ready to flower, I think. It's flowered once for me. That was the first time I've seen it flower, and it's the first Hoya in my collection that flowered while I own it. Like that's pretty cool. Shepherdii has this long vine that it put out in the last couple of weeks here. This is fun. See some leaf buds on it. And then my Hoya fungii hasn't put any new leaves out. It put a bunch of leaves out kind of before the winter, maybe early winter. And then it kind of stopped with the leaf production, but then it put out this long tendril here. So now that it has something to kind of wrap around, I'm hoping it'll put out some more leaves. And then over here, my Hoya bangongoi also just put out a new leaf that's gotten really large really quickly, and I'm trying to figure out where the leaf is. I want to say it's this one, that this was the newest leaf, and it's already almost the size of the other grown-up leaves. That's pretty cool. And then this, my Hoya pubicalyx splash. Oh, wow. Just won't stop. And this is another Hoya pubicalyx. This was the Royal Hawaiian Purple, I believe. Or at least that's how it was sold to me. Haven't seen the purple on it, but I have seen this new vine. So I gave it a trellis. Finally, I was able to give this one a trellis because it really hadn't needed it. But, get that back on there. Now it has this vine going on, and this one's getting close too. I'll be able to trellis this up too. But yeah, that's a cool plant. I love pubicalyx. All of the varieties, they're just really, they're easy growers. They really are. I would recommend a pubicalyx as kind of a beginner. If you're getting into Hoya, I definitely would recommend a pubicalyx. One more update I want to show you guys. This is a Hoya pubicalyx. It is a pubicalyx red buttons that I got from Gabriella Plants. This is the one that I probably shouldn't have ordered when I did order it. It was in the winter. The plant got to me. The roots were great, but it had these long tendrils that were kind of sticking outside of the weatherproof wrapping. And so all of the long tendrils essentially froze, and so I had to cut it way back. But I just wanted to show you what happens when you do that. If you have to cut a vine back, don't feel bad, because it encourages growth closer to the roots. So every single tendril that I cut back on this plant is now growing again. And all of these darker leaves that are coming off of those vines, those new growth points, those are the newest leaves. So this plant is fine, and it was the right thing to do. So never feel bad if you have to cut back on your Hoyas or on your other things. You know, like, ideally you want to avoid that if possible, because that obviously is where the new growth comes out of. You don't want to cut off any peduncles or anything like that, but if you have to cut the vines back, you will encourage growth closer to the roots of the plant, and you will end up with a fuller, bushier Hoya. Okay, this is the last shelf I'm going to show you in my room. That is on my north-facing window. And the one plant I really want to show you over here is this one. This is my Peperomia Peppers pot. It's probably one of my newest Peperomia purchases that I have gotten. And all of these little shoots that are standing up are new. And then the rest of it's just kind of twining its way and tangling its way down. I kind of call it, jokingly call it, the drunk slacker sibling of the Peperomia Ruby Cascade. It's just kind of what it reminds me of. Doesn't quite have itself together. Kind of a mess. Kind of awesome though. Hey guys, it's a lot darker in here. That took a while. I just wanted to say thank you for watching. Thanks for coming with on this spring plant tour of my home. And I hope you guys are finding successes with your house plants right now and starting to observe some changes, some exciting new growth on your plants. If you'd like to let me know what your favorite growers are right now, please feel free to just put a comment down below. We can have that conversation. I'd love to hear about what plants are growing really well for you right now. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, enjoy your plants.